I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey! It is Wednesday, my favorite day of the week. Welcome to It's Bravo Betch with Hollywood Leah, and it's my show. In the studio today, someone that helped me start this podcast. The very first time I ever did a podcast was with him. So I basically learned everything from It's Grant's Rants.
Hello. Well, yeah, a founding father of It's Bravo, Betch. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here finally again.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. Did you like that intro?
I did. I appreciate a good pat on the back.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you.
Yes,
Thank
of
you.
course.
And I took the week out of work, so I was able to come. Like, finally, I can do the show.
I was wondering. I'm like, he's available? This is great. Let's get him in here.
Yeah, finally, I can breathe.
Yeah, we've been trying to get Grant in here because, as you know, he is an AfterBuzz alumni. He's a Bravo expert. He has his own podcast. So he's here to kiki with us. We have a lot of things to talk about today. We're celebrating today. A lot of things to celebrate today. I mean, RHONY trailer came out today. The Real Housewives of New York City are back. It's amazing. The trailer was so good.
It looks fun. Finally.
I know.
Finally, we can enjoy, like, even if it's a light on drama season, at least we can be entertained.
Yes.
You know?
We're going to really break that trailer down. We have some photos of the new housewives. But for now, I just want to talk about Below Deck for a quick second. Let's get into our Gold Star segment. It's kind of like Wendy Williams. It's our Hot Topics. How you doing? I just wanted to skim over Below Deck because I'm honestly over it. I've been talking about it for months, and I'm ready for Below Deck to end, but they're shoving another Below Deck sailing down our throats.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's like, could we just wait like a week or two, or it's like a month?
All I can think of is the production company that produces that show.
They're
must
probably
just make
exhausted.
so much money. They must just make constant money because the show's always on.
I know.
And it airs, if you watch Bravo during the daytime, it airs like repeats all day
They love
long.
to show Below Deck more than anything on reruns, I feel like. I'm like, can we get some Real Houses of New York City, like Scary Island rerun episodes? That's what we really want to see.
There are so many vintage Housewives episodes that people are watching on other platforms that they could really capitalize on by putting it on Bravo. That's what people want to see.
Totally understand. So the reason I'm just saying I'm tired of Below Deck is because the guys haven't been acting. You know, if you've been watching the show, I've had them in here. We've been talking about them. But the reason I want to bring this up is because Andy really just disappointed all the fans. It was really weird the way he came about it. He instantly started coming for Kate. I understand you want to hold certain people accountable, but here's the thing. The Bravo recipe we all know. You hold people accountable when they are not accountable. Kate is always accountable because she does it herself. She says on the show, you've pissed me off, now I'm going to be a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've done this, and now I'm going to do that. As opposed to in Bravo lifestyle, you throw the grenade and pretend you didn't know who throw it. At least she's saying, you know what? I'm going to do this to you because you did that. So I feel like I don't understand why Andy was coming so hot for Kate. When on the other side, these guys have sexually harassed, been misogynist.
That's
like,
it.
Done a lot of crazy things. So it was really interesting. A lot of the fans, commented on the Instagram. We have the photo of it. They were just saying, Andy, we're just disappointed. What's going on? Can we pull up the photo? Yeah, it says, Part 1 was disappointing. Hopefully Andy will change his tune. And Andy says, keep watching and let me know. So that's why I'm not going to bag on it too much. Maybe he turns it around in the second episode. We all know how it is. It's not
I don't know. The one with the cards over there sometimes just isn't, I don't know. I don't dislike him by any means. So like that's not what I mean. But a little lazy. I've said this many a times, even in the studio, about his facilitation of certain reunions with housewives mainly.
Yeah.
Leslie Jones was not afraid to hold back. Did you see her tweets?
Yes, she was mad about it as well. I'm telling you. Like the Bravo masses are like, Andy, what are you doing? Kevin kicked sand in Kate's face, and you're not even asking him about it? Like, what's happening here? Like,
can I ask, because I didn't see all of it, was he pushing Kate to argue against with other women or other men?
Who?
Kate, Andy.
No, Andy was trying to hold her accountable for the way that she treated her staff. She was.
I was just wondering if he was trying to devise, just have an argument between women and men, or just two women.
Well, it's already been divided gender like gender-wise, on Below Deck this season, it is strictly boys against girls.
Okay.
And everyone has been bashing the boys, so I feel like maybe he tried to lighten the load by going over here and showing the spotlight on the
start
girls.
with her, yeah.
But I understand it, but it wasn't like, I don't know. I feel like you should do that with people that are not trying to be accountable. When Kate's telling you I did it to be a bitch, what's
Right.
there more to talk about?
Exactly. And you have to think just TV wise, like not as interesting as far as content goes if she's just going to own up to everything and say, yeah, all right, I did that. Yeah, all right. Now what?
Exactly. I mean, some
It's
stuff she was like,
ganging up on.
some stuff she was like, well, I didn't break girl code. You broke it first by like telling me that you weren't happy with the position. And Andy's like, well, that's not girl code. So I understand, like, he was, he was right there holding her accountable for everything. I get it. But I just felt like,
Isn't it odd, even as a Housewives viewer, that some people are questioned to death about things that other people aren't?
that's what I'm saying.
Like Tamara at the OC reunion, not to go off topic, but what did they really ask her? Did they ask
Nothing.
her anything?
They didn't
for
ask her
3 hours
anything.
worth of content?
They didn't ask her anything.
No. So, like, what? Yeah, Kate is grilled for what? I mean, did she do a quarter of what Tamara
Because
did?
she kissed like Tanner at the end, and they were talking about girl code. Like,
Yeah.
she didn't even remember kissing. It was a peck.
Yeah.
It was like 2 seconds.
It's just odd what's highlighted. I don't know. I'm not saying there's no like conspiracy theory behind it. I'm just curious to know why they do what they do. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, we have one more week to find out, and then we don't have to talk about Below Deck for a while, because Below Deck sailing, I watched it, and it's weird. It's the drama is there, don't get me wrong, but the characters are really strange, and one of the girls looks like an actress from 24, so I can't get past it. I'm like, where's Jack Bauer, girl?
Yeah. Man, they're all in on that Below Deck.
I know. I'm like, let's get out of the water for a minute and get dry. Let's get cold. Let's go to Utah. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I have the cast photo for you guys. A little homemade Twitter one by Nelly Boy 101 on Twitter. We have the photo for you guys of the ladies of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. What do you think about this, Grant? Are you excited about this crossover into the snow Mormon land? What's happening? I want your thoughts on this. I think we do need a new franchise, don't we?
It's time. Yeah, I'm a little housewived out. I'm a little fatigued when it comes to all of this, to be honest with you. But it is interesting to see a show start from the beginning with an original cast. And for a while there, I was watching international versions just to get a taste of like starting from like episode 1 again, like how they established these women, how they introduced them, how they're introduced to each other. So I'm excited to see that.
You watched Melbourne, didn't you?
No, Cheshire was one of my favorite ones ever.
I was gonna say there's one of them that was really good, and I think it's the Chester one, because the Melbourne one wasn't. It was for me. It was very showy offy, like just showing off.
There was a New Zealand one, Auckland, which I watched. It was okay. I don't know why they're not embraced here in the States, or at least shown like on a Saturday morning. I mean,
reruns. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know, especially with all the platforms we have, and now NBC has this Peacock streaming service. I mean, just shovel it over there. People will watch. But anyway, what do I think about Utah or Salt Lake City? Look, so far it just looks like these people are just like celebrating. What's that film festival they all have?
Sundance.
It's like, all right, so what else you got? So we'll see what else they have.
Well, we got the Mormon Temple.
Oh, is that going to be on there? I didn't see anything about that yet. Are they filming there?
Andy said there's going to be some Mormon influence in there. I mean,
there
it's
has
Utah.
to be.
It's
Yeah, there
Utah.
has to be. I mean, I'll look at it. I don't know if I need another one.
Yeah.
So if it's worth it, I'll keep up with it. How about that?
That's fine, but you're getting me into that realm where I want to talk about real quickly before we get into our last gold stars of the day. You know, Grant said he's fatigued, and you know what? Without even asking him, I kind of know what he's talking about. I'm kind of over it. Like, we need a shakeup. I understand that losing all these OGs is making us go, what's happening? But you don't understand. For the last 2 years, all we've done is complain. Do you guys remember? If we had our own Bravo life, they would play the montage of us talking about how we're sick of Tamara and sick of Vicky. And now that they're gone, everyone's like mourning. You guys, let's accept this change. Because trust me, the Bravo shows need a shakeup. All of them do. Don't you agree?
Well, the one show that's not getting any shakeup that needs it desperately is that Beverly Hills Housewives, the worst show on Bravo.
Oh my God, what is up
Worst
with that
produced
one?
show. horrible show. I don't know what they're doing with it. They're banking everything
On Brandy.
And Brandy showing up for 2 episodes. I'm sure your audience has heard this by you many a time, so I won't be redundant. But you got to have more than there would have 24 episodes, including reunions. What are we gonna have? 2 with Brandy? I mean, that's not worth my time. There's too much good TV out there right now.
Maybe Brandy is doing more than 2 episodes, especially with this new thing coming out.
Poor story producers. I hope for them that she's doing more than 2, because I don't know what they're doing over there. But that's a show that could use a major shakeup, and not just Lisa Vanderpump, who's so expendable. Getting rid of her is not enough.
Ooh, the fans are going to come after you.
Oh, bring it on. I can't stand her.
We are going to be talking about Lisa Vanderpump in our Pump Rules segment, so stay tuned to the end. We have a really juicy show for you guys. We're just hitting the tip of the iceberg, but I understand what you're saying. Beverly Hills does need a shakeup.
Isn't it odd, though, that it's still very much intact? And I'm not saying get rid of Kyle. That's not the answer. But, Erika's still there, and Teddy is still there.
I don't understand why she's there.
I never knew why she even got a meeting, to be honest with you, to even get in the door. But other than the last name, which does nothing for me. But
she doesn't even want to use her last name.
So I just don't understand. The public perception is that these people, Teddy, Erika, should probably move on, but yet they keep them. So, I mean, are we changing things? Are we updating things? Or are we just trying to play it safe? Is it just case by case basis? I don't know, but I am a little tired. I can tell you, as a very loyal viewer, and I've sat in this studio for years and talked about Beverly Hills Housewives, I have no motivation to watch it. I have no interest in watching it. There's just too much good TV right now.
Do you think Brandy and Denise slept with each other?
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, hello, Denise Richards. I mean, not to get graphic for you guys, but the scene in Wild Things, that threesome with Matt Dillon and Nev Campbell, I could tell you that was in the spank bank.
There's some fluidity to the situation.
Oh my God. I watched that for years as material, even though I switch sides doesn't mean I can't appreciate the merchandise. Women are beautiful, and Denise Richards, hot. Yeah, totally my Pamela Anderson of the 90s.
Denise, I actually ran into her in an elevator, and she looks incredible. She really does. I'll give her the credit. I mean, she's aged well, if at all.
Did you watch her reality show?
No, I didn't.
I loved it. It was so good. It was on E!
Okay.
And her dad was hilarious. He lived with her, and she took her Louboutins to the Goodwill. She had some good. Yeah. It was cute. It wasn't It
was one of those cutesy.
It was cutesy. Yeah. Well, let's talk about something that we've been really excited about. I told you we're here to celebrate. Finally, our prayers have been answered. The Real Housewives of New York City are coming back April 2nd. The trailer dropped today. It's been all over Instagram, Twitter. I won't even post about it because it's
my whole feed.
It's why would I post the same photo that all you Bravo accounts have posted? I'm gonna talk about it because I have my own podcast and Grant's here. Let's break down this trailer.
All
Sonia getting licked in the mouth by her dog. Luann saying she didn't sleep with the pirate. Luann, oh my God, you totally slept with the pirate, Luann. You totally slept with the pirate.
What are we gonna do with Luann? Because all right, we're talking about stuff.
We're still talking about the cabaret.
The cabaret is still the only thing going on. So and we've all seen it.
But she's drinking again.
You saw the cabaret, right?
Of course, we went together.
Did we go together? Because I saw it twice.
Are you serious, Grant?
I saw it twice.
We went
to the first one.
We went to the first one before it was huge.
We went. It was kids. We had to go down in a parking garage and climb down steps.
That's why I was I can't believe we don't remember when we almost got murdered.
I remember now. And this was before this was the show that sold out around the world.
Exactly.
We take on stuff. I'm so sorry.
Look, see how you do me, Grant.
I've had enough. I've just had enough, and I'm not calling for her to be let go. I'm fine with her. She's cool. But what else you got? You know what I mean? The show.
She has a vodka tonic.
She says it stands up still. The show, great. Okay, what else?
Ramona's that's water. I mean, that's not water. It's vodka. And Luann's give me some.
Yeah.
Give me some. God, it feels so good when it hits your lips. She's it tastes so good. I'm oh, Luann, that's my girl. That's why you've been my favorite forever. Luann has always been my favorite housewife. But right now she's denying she didn't sleep with the pirate. Girl, that was one of my main selling points that made me love you. Trying to disguise with the whole different language.
It depends what sleeping with is defined by. Maybe it was,
Maybe she just blew him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, she's still hooked up with him.
What was your favorite part of the trailer?
Let me think. I like that it was entertaining and funny, and it
was
wasn't
so funny.
played up all this drama, heavy music, and
I
blah, 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 blah.
know.
It was actually just like a bunch of nonsense. There was drama though with Dorinda. That seems to be like a focus. Like, what's going on with
Her
Dorinda?
alcoholism is coming
Does
through.
he think that's what it is?
Yeah, because Ramona's like, we want to talk about it, and you don't want the help. And Dorinda's like, I don't need your help.
Yeah, I don't know. And cue the montage of her slurring the words on the boat, her falling, like all the stuff that I don't know if she's.
Oh my God, Sonia falls like off the table again.
Again, I enjoy it because it's entertaining. I'm glad. I feel like they've fallen into a place where this is like the funny show.
Yes.
There are
It's
ones
always
that are-
been.
Yeah, there's ones that are more like Atlantis, the shady show.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills is the paint drying show. So each one kind of falls into their own basket, if you will, and this one's just a mess. And I'm glad.
My favorite.
I'm glad.
My favorite franchise. My favorite cast members, like Real Housewives of New York City has my heart. Ramona forever, Countess Luann forever, Bethany forever, but she's gone. And Tinsley's gone. Speaking up, we have a photo for you guys. Tinsley celebrating 3 years with Scott. I don't know how that is. Is it off and on? We have the photo for you guys.
Do you round up?
I know. Are you just like not counting the months you broke up in between? Regardless, she's happy and she's in Chicago and she's wearing, if you notice, they're both wearing the same outfits that they wore on their very first blind date on Bravo with Carol.
All I could think of was the money these two are worth, and they're repeating outfits. You know what I mean?
I know.
But I think it's cute. I mean, whatever. She
It
seems
is
happy.
cute. It is cute.
I really hope that it stays happy for them because it was an odd thing the way it was depicted on television. It was like he couldn't commit, she couldn't live without him, but it was like a whole thing. So I wonder how it will be in reality because it's one thing to have the big party and the wedding, and then the day after you roll over and he's asleep next to you, and it's like that's it.
Exactly.
That the story's done. You've had the wedding. Now what?
You're totally right. I feel like in the beginning, there was like a narrative that he could have been like the nicest guy and like the guy, you know what I mean? Because he's not the traditional six-pack vain, you know what I mean? He's like the chubby, nerdy guy. So we all thought, but then this other side came out that they depicted on the show, like you said, that he couldn't commit, that he had relationship issues, he was controlling. So we just hope that Tinsley's happy, and we're happy that she's in the trailer because I've said this before, Tinsley grew on me, you guys. So, you know, you don't...
I don't mind her.
Yeah.
There's enough room on the show for her to be a little bit on the lighter side of things.
Yeah, I'm drinking, Luann.
So good.
And we have a new housewife who is like totally like I'm standing already. We have a photo for you guys. This is Leah Mobb from BravoCon. She is joining the Real Housewives of New York City. Apparently, she's friends with Sonia and Dorinda and Ramona, and she loves
Tinsley.
Crazy.
Yeah, I guess her first scene was a workout scene with Tinsley, which everybody shaded because they're like, who's Tinsley's friend? Who is this? But she was in the trailer. She looks interesting. She's a new force in the show. I wonder how she'll work in because the median age on the show, this is not an ageist comment, but it's an older crowd on the show, which makes it so great. So they have to be careful. They can't really go the Jules route where they've got someone who's like a young mom.
That did not work.
It just doesn't. They just don't cross. So I'm wondering like where she falls in this. I know she's a mom, but she seems to have an older daughter, and it looks like.
You're totally right, because you know what? If this was Orange County, she would not fit in. You know, the Orange County young girl never fits in because it's older over there in Orange County, and Vicky would not let any new girl have a nice
Rest
smooth
in
ride.
peace. Oh God, I'm still upset.
Vicky's gone. A lot of people are upset about Vicky. You know what?
Me included. Unpopular opinions.
I say to y'all that are so upset about Vicky, go listen to her podcast. It's coming out soon. So,
you know what? I don't miss her that much, actually.
exactly.
I'm
like, ugh, someone who said would never do podcasts, starting her own. We have another photo for you guys of Leah with the cast to give you a little flavor of what it's going to be like. This is her interacting with the girls, and it looks like a good little Kiki at BravoCon. If you know this moment, if you recognize it, put it in the comments. Let me know you were there, and it was fabulous, and maybe I'll give you a little shout out. If you're with us in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being an avid watcher and a loyal subscriber subscribe to It's Bravo Bitch. I know it's a fairly new podcast and a baby little Bravo one, but I appreciate the train and everyone behind it and the steam. It really, really fulfills me. So I really am so grateful. So if you watch Bravo, you should tell your friends. Like, if you watch Bravo, you should be watching It's Bravo Bitch. Let's move on. I want to skip the Andy Cohen thing because whatever. He's flirting with some bachelor, and I don't have time for it. Let's move on to Real Housewives of Atlanta before we get into Vanderpump Rules, because Vanderpump Rules really gave me life this week.
Yes, I just finished watching it like 2 hours ago, so
Me
it's fresh
too!
in my mind.
Me too. But I just want to talk about real quick the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh my God, it is so messy. Kenya brought the cookie lady. I'm questioning whether there's some innocence in Cynthia here, but I know she was definitely thrown under the bus by Kenya. What do you think about this whole situation?
I wanted to know which producer brought the cookie lady to that restaurant, because they clearly shut down that place for the show.
Thank you.
And then there was like the camera, and they said this in the Real Housewives of Atlanta after show, because I do my homework when I come on this podcast. And they were saying like, oh, I could tell something was up because they had a camera on her. They had a specific camera guy for her entrance, on her entrance, whatever. And so set up. She's walking with like these basic, what would she get to it? Like Publix, the cookie. I mean, I know they're probably her own, but still.
No, Eva said she makes a good cookie.
I'm just like, to me, it was just like, if anyone's ever been in theater, there's always like, or even in television, like a stage manager. I feel like she was standing outside the restaurant, and like the stage manager would like tap her, like, you're in, and then it just seemed very set up.
Yeah.
The way she came in. And they really credited Kenya for bringing her there. And of course, that's the narrative. But I want to know how much of that was Kenya and how much of that was production. That's
and
something
Cynthia,
I would like to
too,
ask.
because supposedly later on, Kenya was like, Cynthia's the one that brought the cookie lady to the little gathering so she could be intricated somehow naturally into the group. Kenya did say that because she's trying to act like it wasn't all me. And, Nene's been saying this whole time, you guys have to just see. You're going to finally see what I see, which is like another side to Cynthia. So I really want to know. This would have been a good question.
Yeah,
we really need to know who brought the cookie lady. Was it Kenya? Was it Cynthia? Was it Bravo? Was it all three of y'all? But we really want to know. So maybe she'll answer us one day. Who knows?
When they had that first scene and they were talking with her, and I just thought it was so insignificant. Because it was just like, oh, they're just talking to like this person in this cookie shop.
Yeah.
I was like, because I remember being like, why are they like spending time? Usually it's like they get right to business, like they're talking about.
It was really weird.
So like it's carried through, which is interesting. But I again, my cynical side of me just thinks like all of this is cast and set.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. But I love Kenya for it. Didn't miss Nene at all this week.
Really, I missed her, even though like I know she's whatever you guys are saying.
She doesn't even want to be on the show.
I don't know. She's kind of mad that she's been being cut out. Supposedly she's hiring lawyers and everything.
She's got to at least show that she's there for a good time a little bit. I mean, she's getting paid a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't enjoy her whatsoever. It's fine. I didn't miss her on the show. To me, there was just enough going on. But I like Kenya. She's good TV, but she definitely crosses that line where it's like self-producing and too much involved in creating a TV show and beyond her life. That Tamara, I think, had that problem at the end of her run. She did. That's the fastest way to get out, to get thrown off. But I know Andy's all up her ass, loves Kenya, so she's not going anywhere, which I'm glad about. I really actually like Kenya.
She's good TV. That's what everyone's been telling me, because I've been saying, like, she's just getting too dirty for me. Because Grant is right. Like, we've seen this pattern with the Housewives before. They start to get desperate, and Kenya's been kicked off before. So I'm sure she came on thinking, I gotta rattle this whole place. This whole house has to shake when I walk in, and I get it. It's being shaken. Like, we're shook, girl. We're shook.
Right.
Like, you are good TV, but I do kind of see where, like, I don't know, like, at the end, if you're going to have a friend after this, like, that's exactly what Tamara did, and we were over her by then.
Right.
I really wish, like, Tanya would have asked her some questions. Like, I feel like she didn't ask her anything.
Right, and they never mentioned the whole, like, that he said that he's not married or engaged.
Yeah, he said he was single.
Yeah, that never came up this week when they were at that restaurant.
It's really strange.
That portion didn't happen. That would have been the first thing I would have asked the cookie lady.
Exactly.
Or said, what did he say about his status?
Yeah.
Like that, because that's
Tanya's like, I don't want to hear it. She's like, oh, you went to the bathroom. Aren't the
part.
bathrooms next to each other? It was like, that doesn't even make any sense, girl. It was really strange. If you're watching Atlanta, you know that we do the Atlanta after show here, and I happen to be running it as well. So make sure to watch on Sunday. You might have someone pop in on the after show. We're trying to get down to the details on this whole Paul and Tanya thing. So keep checking out It's Bravo, Betch.
Is it Tanya? I want to make sure I'm saying it right because I've heard it different ways.
Tanya.
And then there's a 90 Day Fiance, the other one. She has a similar,
Tanya.
She has another spelling to it. She's a crazy
Tanya,
one.
Tanya. Like Tanya Hart. There's so many Tanya. But this one I think is Tanya.
Tanya, I thought.
Tanya, yeah, we've been saying it so many different ways.
Well, I like her. I think she's
Canadian.
She's a good, fresh energy for the show. As far as like she wants to be there. Unlike Needy, who's got a terrible attitude in the corner and over it. This girl, she's like all in. She's ready to have a good time. It's interesting how they have these friends of it and the ancillary characters who really like the stories about them, and they're not even full time.
Yeah,
it's odd. I mean, Vicky was an example of that in OC. It's odd how they do it.
I just want Nene to come back and like get right with everyone. Like I know it sounds like it's never going to happen in a fairy tale, and it's probably not. But like, I don't know.
She tried.
We
She
get
kissed-
more honey with sugar. I feel
She
like.
tried. I mean, I forgot who pointed it out. Maybe it had to be Kenya, but she was like, she's gonna try with this one, this one, this one, this one.
She's all alone on the island, and no one wants to play with her.
It's true. It's so obvious.
It's so obvious. Let's move on to Vanderpump Rules, because I'm telling you, we're celebrating Ariana's bisexual and officially out at Pride. That's why I'm wearing my rainbow shirt. Vanderpump Rules, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I've doubted you, but you are back. You are hot. White Kanye's back. The accent of the American accent he was doing for Katie had me dying.
I will say, Vanderpump Rules, you finally have a little bit of diversity on the show for a restaurant in the middle of LA.
Still no gay people, and still no color.
Well, that's what I'm saying. For a restaurant that takes place in LA, there's not one person who's of minority descent. Or
there's no type of color diversity. There's no Hispanic people. There's no black people. There's no Asian people.
No.
It's all different shades of white people.
Exactly, which is ridiculous because it's not an accurate depiction. I mean, you could go to these restaurants, you can see that the staff, there is a diverse staff.
Yeah,
to
there's
a
gay
degree.
people that work there.
Yeah, because it's LA, and so that just goes to show that it's not an accurate depiction. I don't know why Lisa Vanderpump gets on every year and says all this stuff, what an advocate she is. I mean, put your money where your mouth is. I just feel like she takes money from the gay community. She's got these places. They couldn't push Ariana out there enough that she represented part of the community, which is great. But we've seen them. They've been hanging around. We know that there are like.
Do you think she capitalizes on the whole "I want to be an ally" thing?
I do. I definitely believe that she gives money to the Trevor Project and all that. I don't believe that she's all talk and no action. But I know that the feeling, and maybe you have some insight on this too, but the feeling in the community and in West Hollywood is that they don't want any more restaurants by her because she's a cisgender straight woman who runs these restaurants and makes money exclusively off of them. She's got the picture of the two Toms that are kissing in the front of Tom Tom, which is like gay bait, which I don't care for whatsoever.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see like. If she's in the fabric of West Hollywood, she's got to do a better job with representation. And now that's really, I mean, look at the politics that we're in, the world that we're in. Representation is so key. You can't just say you're about it. You got to be about it.
Yeah, we had Billy on and they ran her off so quickly.
The way they treated that girl at that reunion was terrible.
Yeah.
They didn't even let her answer a question.
I mean, I didn't like the way she came on because she didn't really come on organically anyway. She just came on.
She wasn't good for the show.
No, she wasn't a good fit.
But you have to be respectful.
Exactly. Like the way they just told her to go fight with Lala. So she was going to go fight with Lala because she's a fiery personality, but it didn't gel. But I understand what Grant is saying. Like, we live in West Hollywood. We go to these restaurants and we know that there's all sorts of walks of life. Like, why are we not seeing represented on Vanderpump Rules when the show is centered around West Hollywood? Actually, now it's like Valley Village / West Hollywood. We need two separate shows. We need the OGs in the Valley, and then we need these new kids in West Hollywood.
Yeah. I'm just disappointed more than anything. I mean, because I know that they're employed. She makes a lot of money on these places. And I follow different local websites and they talk about like rumored, like Lisa wants to buy this, Lisa wants to buy this property. She owns a lot. And I've read things that they are not well received. by the
interesting.
locals and the local business. So
Well, it's been weird to kind of see her, like, it seems kind of organic because she is their boss, but at the same time, I feel like she needs to go play with someone her own age when she's having these scenes, like, these forced scenes with the cast.
All the time. Lisa, and you know I'm not a fan of her, but I'm not going to go into a whole rant about my dislike for her, but she is shoehorned in on this show.
Oh, my God. She's like, well, she doesn't have anything left.
Can someone explain to me why they had to get posters from the 99-cent store to go to Lisa's house to sit on her terrace to make posters for Pride that nobody
Because
saw?
they needed to put her in the scene.
Yeah. It was just like, this is what I mean. Classic example of shoehorning in.
I'm like, Ariana hates Lisa too. And she's like, why do I have to go talk to her about being depressed?
I know. That's none of Lisa's business. They're really not that close.
They're not. That's what I'm saying. Like, Ariana hasn't liked Lisa Vanderpump for years.
Yeah, I mean, most people with their employer, they're not going to talk about how they wanted, they thought about driving off the edge of a cliff because they were upset with, it's just not a natural thing. It's really for cameras and all that pickup stuff. I know you covered it.
Yeah.
Oh, that pickup stuff. They said, well, the show wasn't fake.
Different hair, regular hair, the same shot.
It
like,
seems pretty
it's
fake
so
to me. When I have a conversation with my supervisor, I don't pick it up 6 months later with a different haircut. Just saying.
And the scene with Stassi and Tom arguing outside where Stassi's like, how dare you? One of the people that went to the book signing told me they did that scene like 5 times.
I believe it.
I was shocked.
You know what seemed,
but not really.
In this most recent episode of Vanderpump Rules, what seemed to be a pickup to me was Raquel outside with Peter, where he was in a white t-shirt and she was in her bathing suit. What does that have to do with Pride? She's got goggles on.
And he was trying to be mean.
Yeah, and he clearly was like, this is much nonsense. And because, I could tell because we know where that restaurant is at Pride, it is chaos. It's so much noise.
Exactly.
And they were like sitting in the back of this open parking lot with a perfectly blue sky, no noise, no backgrounds, anything.
Pickup shot.
Total pickup. Just don't do it. We really didn't need that scene. I didn't need to see Raquel be
No,
scolded.
I would like to see more of Jax pretending he's not attracted to Dana and more montages proving he is a huge liar.
So you're anti-Jackson Brittany with this wedding.
Oh my God, they are horrible people. Especially
You sound like me with Lisa and Ken.
they are just horrible people. Like Jax has been like allegedly homophobic for years, and like people have been trying to prove that for a long time. You know what I mean? And I feel like this season we're gonna get a little preview of that with the whole pastor thing, how he tweeted a bunch of homophobic things, and Brittany and Jax didn't really hold him accountable, and he still married them. So you have to really, if you're gonna be in the light, you have to like. You can't do that sort of thing.
Didn't they sub him out for the one who will go to the opening of an envelope? Lance Bass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I have some photos of you guys because White Kanye is back, and we want to plug. He's going on tour, doing an American accent and all. James Kennedy is back. You guys, I never thought I'd see the day where I would be plugging James Kennedy, but you know what? I've missed him. We have needed him. I'm over all these people that look the same on Vanderpump Rules. Danica and Dana just started to look different to me because one of them is shorter than the other one. And Brett,
I forgot about Danica.
I know.
Who was that?
Exactly.
The one that doesn't eat pasta. That's the only thing I know about her.
No, that's Charlie.
Oh, forget it.
Exactly. And then Brett and Max still look alike to me, so I can't decipher them.
Same. And that's another thing. She's there. That's what I'm going to say this real quick. She's there in the Pride Parade, and there she is, again, gay bait, because he's a straight man. They're holding her umbrella with the shirt off. It's just kind of like, and I get it, it's for everybody, but I mean.
And he tweeted like racist stuff.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Like, again, you got to be about it.
Yeah.
You're in the West Hollywood, Los Angeles Gay Pride Parade. Find a random gay to hold your umbrella.
Thank you. There's plenty of us that would be willing to jump in the car with you and go down the parade for some free fried cauliflower.
Me. Not me. I want nothing to do with her. Not me. In fact, I was out of town.
I met Lisa once. She was very nice to me, and she pet my dog, and I felt like it was the blessing from the god dog. So I was like, Lisa, you pet my dog. My dog's been pet by Lisa Vanderpump. Photo on the Instagram. Follow It's Bravo Betch Podcast on Instagram. Grant, you haven't followed it. You need to follow it too.
Okay, I'm doing it. You know me. I'm terrible at this.
One more thing, though, about Vanderpump Rules, though. I was dying that White Kanye, a.k.a. James Kennedy, brought up the Fofty thing. I was dying! So freaking funny. I'm like, Lala and Randall, you thought we weren't going to talk about this.
Why was that buried? I don't understand. That was like huge news.
Exactly, and I'm glad that he's bringing it up. Like, I'm sure Lala and Randall were going to try to just sweep that under the rug.
Yeah, I mean, if this is really about their lives, then that's something that was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
You
We
know?
talked about it for like 3 Bravo bitches.
Yeah, I remember talking about it in Grant's Rants too. I remember like laughing about it. It was ridiculous.
It was so crazy. I'm so glad James brought it up. If he would have done that post, it would have made it into this storyline. So I'm glad he did because it was
Right.
everywhere. We needed to hear it. Keep watching Vanderpump Rules. We're going to keep talking crap about it. You know, there's plenty of things to talk about. Plenty of horrible people on there, including Katie.
the knitting queen now.
Oh my God. But don't get me wrong. I love me the Toms. The Toms are so great. I've met them. They're nice. They're, you know, I like them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just like a huge basher.
I can feel Tom Sandoval's frustration through the screen because he's got, you know, yes, he's a big part of it, but it's like you've got different factors here. You've got Bravo, you've got the show itself, you've got Lisa, the fact that they own only a certain small percentage of it, the fact that he has to work with the other one, Tom, who doesn't have all the brains in the building. So it's like, I feel his frustration because it's like you've got this great thing and it is doing very well.
But you're only a very small part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
And he needs to just accept it because it's going to break his heart.
I know.
It would break mine. Like the
Yeah.
fact that I'm trying to be so proud of this tiny little thing that I own, but it's literally you own like a pea in like a whole
Right.
watermelon. Like Lisa runs that ship, honey. She gonna decide when you gonna get a check. I don't even think they've gotten a check. Probably. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who
We'll find out
knows?
at the reunion because nobody asks anything during the season.
Exactly. Well, let's move on to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills news and gossip for you.
Oh God.
I
Is there
know.
anything coming out of the
Yes,
show?
there is. I'm sure you guys are like tired of hearing me talk about Erika Jayne on Broadway doing Chicago, but you know what? It actually led her to hang out with Janet Jackson.
Okay, I like
Janet
that.
Jackson went to go see Chicago on Broadway and hung out with Erika Jayne afterwards. Don't get it twisted though. I'm sure Erika was fabulous, but the real reason that I think Janet is with Erika is because they share the same makeup artist. I know Preston.
Oh.
I mean, like I don't know. I met him once, but I know that he is the makeup artist to Janet Jackson and Erika Jayne. So there's a connection there. There's a shared mutuality there. So we're just happy for Erika that she hung out with Jackson royalty, Janet Jackson. I love me some Janet Jackson.
I love Janet. Yeah, I do too. Now the other one, the brother, not so much.
The other
I
one we're
like
not going
Janet.
to talk about.
No, I like Janet.
Would you pay to see Erika Jayne on Broadway?
Oh, not really. And there's nothing personal. I saw it. I actually love Chicago. I love the musical. I've seen it many, many times in different theaters, different takes on it. The movie, of course, fantastic. I actually remade Chicago myself when I was in high school. It was so impressionable on me.
Oh, my God.
Truly.
Who are you?
I definitely cannot be bothered watching the on Broadway, though. I'm all right. I'll see it if I should watch the show. Maybe I'll look at it there. I don't know. I'm glad for her though. The photos look great. I was just not motivated to go see Chicago again. I've just seen it too many times. I get it.
Well, what do you think about Sutton? Do you think she's gonna like do something? I think she's
have
gonna do
no
more
hope.
than Garcelle though, because I heard Garcelle has been really under the radar this entire season. I really don't know what to expect.
I was very happy to see Garcelle again, a diverse casting choice.
Yes, we need someone
about
like
time.
that.
And it really should not be news that we're having our first African American Real Housewife of Beverly Hills. It should not be news anymore. I mean, it's a great thing. I mean, you know, it should be expected that we're going to just have diverse people in and out of these shows.
Absolutely.
So I'm very happy that they made that decision.
We need
But
all the colors of the rainbow everywhere.
I just don't have any faith for the show. Again, similar to you, I've heard virtually nothing coming out of it. Like, oh, it's going to be a good season, or someone's really
Haven't heard
bringing
anything.
it, or someone's really upset. Other than the Denise stuff, okay, so
That Brandy keeps
so
leaking.
Denise is going to miss the final party of the season finale. But I also keep hearing that they're still filming because there's just not enough content. So I don't know where we're at. They've been filming though since like the what? Like
I
end
feel
of
like they've
summer?
been. I feel like they've been filming for like over
That's
almost a
very,
year.
Very bad sign. Look at someone like Potomac. Like they just keep going because they've got a lot of content and they crank it out.
Potomac is crazy. Obviously, we had Kevin, Monique's brother, in here from Real Housewives of Potomac, and he promised he was going to get Monique in here. Make sure to tune into It's Bravo, Bitch, because we are going to be breaking it down for you guys. Tell your friends if they watch Bravo, they should be watching It's Bravo, Bitch. Full of Bravo celebrities, Bravo gossip, all the hottest Bravo podcasters come on this show and talk about it. We're one big whole happy family. Grant, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Where can we find you? What do you want to promote?
Oh, I hope you listen to Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk. Yes, I'm still doing it. We're going to be reaching 150 episodes. Check it out, Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk.
Are you going to be doing like a big old party again?
No, I can't. Not this time.
Well, I definitely am trying to get this bad boy to that kind of status where I have a huge party. So make sure to keep watching and supporting. I really appreciate it. You can find me every single Wednesday right here on It's Bravo, Betch. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye, AfterBuzzers.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.